Hello, all. Hello, folks. Good morning. Hello, Aloha Patriot, Mikola, Cheryl. Hello, Gypsy Baron. Happy anniversary to Jay and Amy. Or should I say the day you outran your coverage? Jay, congratulations to Jay and Amy. Leonida Nicole, 22nd birthday. Certain we'll have more birthdays on this Armistice Day. Of note, for those that have been on the podcast for some time or part of the community, Walter Lindstrom passed away yesterday. One more before we got MedBeds passed. Tough one. So saying prayers out there for all of Walter and his friends. Well, for his comfort for his friends. Walter's in a better spot. He had definitely been suffering some health issues. Hello, Matthew. Hello, Trish. Grumpy. Dagoo. Jeff. Paul, it's happening like you said it would. Looking at all the chaos going on, political, social, financial in all these countries. Definitely a good smoke screen. Yeah, great smoke screen. Painful. We were told it would look ugly. Mellow Kia, good morning. My right hand's been itching for days. Hopefully that is not poison ivy. I think it's for a good reason. Hello, Grandma Evie. Hello, Jerry. Do I believe in MedBeds? Yes, but I question why we don't have them yet. It makes no sense to me if they're truly there. I don't understand what they gain by withholding them. I do know there are some really cool technologies out there. Some really cool technologies, although I am getting a hoot. Yeah, how about them metals running? I am getting a hoot out of Jonathan did the thumbnail for me. Well, Jonathan took a picture of me, made a thumbnail. AI did it. I am getting a hoot between my eyes. And I got a wedding ring on in that one. I'm not even married. Gotta love AI. Don't tell it anything. Let's see, Texas chick. I have a friend that's actually seen MedBeds. There's supposedly 3 of them at Methodist Hospital in Houston, Texas, in the basement. Yeah, they need to justify why, if they exist, are we still losing people and letting people pass? That part really gets my goat. The AI definitely made me look younger. It's kind of like Snapchat filters, I guess, for the ladies. Maybe it's the future MarkZ, right? Post MedBed. Whoa, it is ripping. All right, guys. This morning we do have, well, wait a minute. She's going to show her face. I'm looking in the studio. I am really looking forward to this. So this one's going to be just great. For those that are unfamiliar, every year on Armistice Day, we have a very special guest. And I guess without further ado, if you're ready, just wave and I'll bring you in. All right, she's waving. And this is the first time you guys get to see her.
Hello. It's such an honor. Such an honor to be here once again. And I just want to say thank you for the service to all of our veterans, all of our service people in whatever capacity. I just want to say thank you for your service.
Are you up for giving us a little background? What you're going to read today is from a diary.
That is correct. Yes. And it is from my grandfather's diary. He just happened to be in the very first mobile, what we nowadays call a MASH unit in World War I. He was in France, and so therefore it was called the mobile operating unit number 1 in France. Later in the war, they did change the name to the mobile hospital number 1. And during the war, my grandfather wrote a very, very small, very thin black journal, and it was designed to be small enough to carry around in your pocket without adding too much weight. And this is my grandfather's diary entry for November 11, and it was reprinted in his hometown paper every year when my father was growing up, and it's been our family tradition to read this entry every year on Veterans Day, which I, of course, call Armistice Day because of this diary. And I'm so honored to be able to share it with all of you today. And how many years has this been now, Mark? Is
Was
this
this
like
4 years or 5
4
years? I
years,
mean,
5 years?
yeah.
It's been such an honor to be able to do this every year.
No, for me, it's even more special because we're losing so much of our history as the next generation passes, the next generation passes. And if we don't make these things a tradition, we're going to forget all the
Mhm.
sacrifices that so many made, even even the ones that came home, the sacrifices that they made, the horrors, things that they have seen. It's very, very important, especially in a day and age where politicians seem to embrace war for the monetary gains. We call it the military industrial complex. But this to me is a great reminder why peace is so important. When you read this, I mean, it is very poignant.
Yes, and I need to warn everybody up front, I cry every year. I have every time I do this, and it was an honor to do it for a veteran just the other day who was visiting, and since he wasn't going to be with me on Armistice Day, on this special day, I read it to him and his family. So, and I cried, of course. So anyway, so here it is, November 11. 1918, 11:15 a.m. 4 minutes ago, the guns ceased firing. We heard the wire from Sule that the armistice conditions had been accepted by Germany and the memorandum signed at 5 a.m. and that hostilities would cease at 11 o'clock. All morning, a heavy barrage has been going on. At 10:45, Speed, Hunley, Webster, Killian, Bryant, Venerable, Captain Lee, and myself sat here around the stove and debated as to the possibility of the fire ceasing at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock came and the guns continued to pound away. 2 minutes later, the steady rumble began to grow less. And at 11:05, a gun every half minute was all that we could hear. We began to count between shots. Captain Lee counted 6, and then 2 guns close together. Hunley counted 7, and then a gun. We laughed rather disappointedly. Captain Lee passes around the cigars, and the guns shoot close together, and then a long pause. We are about to shout with joy when at exactly 11:11, a gun goes off, and all is still. And in the distance, we hear the shrill, long whistle of a locomotive, the rat-a-tat-tat of a machine gun, and a bell is ringing. The war is over. Everyone runs outside to listen breathlessly, all afraid that we will hear another gun. It does not come. We gradually realize that it is true. La guerra es fini. Everyone shouts. Webster does an Indian war dance. Meade blows taps, and we gradually awaken. The war is really finished. At the 11th minute, after the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month, do you believe in signs?
Waiting for the tingles to stop in my scalp. That one is always so yeah, that touches you in the feels. I can't thank you enough for this tradition that you've shared with us for these many years now, and look forward to many more with you still sharing that on Armistice Day, lest we forget just what these generations have gone through to preserve freedom.
Absolutely. And it's my honor. And like I say, I want to honor and say thank you to all the service members and around the world, because that's what they fought for. They fought for our freedom. And thank you.
Thank you for joining us this morning. I guess it's time to get on to the news, although I would rather have a day of remembrance. But for those out there, please do take the time to remember. If you know a service member, thank them for their service. And if you can afford to, if you see one at your local diner, buy them a meal, maybe a coffee. Thanks, Jade Eyes.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Our every year reading, and it's a tradition that I absolutely cherish and look forward to each year as we remember. I guess I need to say a couple thank yous and then get on with news. Many of you folks waiting for that one, and we will have Jonathan Otto with My Red Light and PEMF mats in just a little while. RW, today's my birthday, 78 years old, born on Armistice Day, 1947. My granddaughter's 16th. Oh, RW, happy birthday. Our resident philosopher, if you guys aren't familiar with RW, Donald piped in, the reason we don't have MedBeds is because of big pharmaceutical companies. Why we do not have them. We got to beat that. We got to change how that works. We got to change the narrative. Walter was the one that would come on with Ron, the inventor. And then when Walter got sick, we stopped having Ron on for a while. Victor, his big 70th. Deb, off to our Veterans Day parade this morning. Starts at 11:11. That is just a well done on the organizers for starting that at 11:11. I got to go back, and I keep hearing her read that one, and I can just picture the silence, as guns are blazing and bombs bursting, and suddenly that rat-tat-tat-tat, it's kind of like microwave popcorn at the end. It gets a little slower and slower, and then peace. Captured in his journal. That is something. Okay, I know we need to get to it. Oh, wait, LJ loved seeing Jade Eyes reading. Just absolutely. I need to trim that one out. I keep saying I need to do one. I have shortened one before and clipped it, but I think I need to do that every year. Think I need to do that one every year. Thanking all the veterans, including my dad, a POW in World War II. Barrett, 9 today. Reading a few. I know we got to get to it. Let's get to it. Just a little shaken. I got this. Let's go to Iraq. And we do have some humdingers that made the rounds yesterday, and we'll kind of get into them a little bit. Election day in Iraq today, so we're not expecting a tremendous amount of news. Now, one of the pieces we did get the day before the elections really shook the Middle East and our community. Okay, we're going to start with just election stuff. Al-Sudani's advisor precedes results. Talks on government formation will begin in 2 days. They want us to know that everything went well. Election Commission, ballot boxes will close on time, no extension. Everything has gone smoothly and on time in the election process. They begin to form that new government in 2 days, is what we are being told, according to different political blocs. My guess is they'll probably take a day off tomorrow and celebrate and relax and recover. We even have the Kurdish regional government calling for a holiday for all non-essential government workers in honor of what just occurred. Turnout has been extremely high by any metric, by any country's metric. Just phenomenal turnout. All right, now let's get to the central bank. Central bank plans to remove zeros from the Iraqi dinar. And we're getting some back and forth. They want us to know where they stand, how much gold they have, and that's 20% of their reserves already. I think they're laying the groundwork here. They're laying the foundation. The Iraqi dinar without zeros. Central Bank of Iraq launches a historic reform to reshape their economy. They're calling it the 0-0 project. So we finally have an official name for it, the 0-0 project. A project to remove 3 zeros from its nominal value to better reflect the country's growing economic strength. This move, which has been the subject of rumors for years, is currently under active development with comprehensive studies and simulations having been completed. According to the governor, the process will be gradual and meticulously planned to ensure the financial stability while unlocking the currency's true potential. Now, guys, would we be talking about unlocking the true potential if all they were going to do is wipe off some zeros? Would they talk about it possibly going to as much as $3 to $4 if they were just wiping zeros? These are the discussions going on, and the articles and the comments by economists, politicians, etc. in Iraq. That one should have had everybody a bit on the excited side yesterday. In the news and government officials talking about the 0-0 project to lift its nominal value. That one was just a fantastic one. Carol, explain how that works. We're going to explain it again. Boy, we've explained this one a lot over the years. They lift the purchasing power of it, and the larger denominations are no longer functional in day-to-day use, so they issue lower denomination bills, getting rid of the 0-0 bills because they are too big to be functional. That's how it works. Sudani's told us we can go back in history. Shabibi explained it in depth. We have shared that video many, many times. Many times. Jason, there's some rumors out there from some folks about arrear rate is just not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing higher than that. All right, let's take off that banner from the bond side. My updates are expected at some point today from at least one source. I'm hoping for 2 updates. They are later in the day, so it should be for this evening. Hopefully, we will have some results from the polls in Iraq to find out what kind of changes we are anticipating on that front. Yeah, Dave, it does. It talks about 322 to 425 for a possible rate for the dinar in that article. The links will be up, guys. All you got to do is go to the original MarkZ.com. You look for the video. When it goes up, you'll find links underneath them. All you got to do whenever you want to find links to the articles that we discuss in each one, you just click on that video and look underneath it. These are the links so that you can fact check me, check yourself, and also share. You got so many people tearing you apart, telling you you're crazy, doubting you, etc. Share the articles. Every one of them that is tearing you apart. How many articles, how many government publications, how many banking regulation for it, how many of all those things have they given you or shared with you when they are tearing you apart? My guess is none, maybe 1 or 2. Bellady, we do that so often. If you've watched me more than once, you already know my thoughts on that one. Jackie, no, it does not mean that. All you got to do right now, if you want to know what the rate is right now with what you have, because no rate has changed yet. We do not have a rate change. They've told us that they're working on that project, that they've officially started that project, which should have you all kinds of warm and fuzzy. But all you got to do if you got a 5K note is just ask the internet, what is 5,000 Iraqi dinar worth in US dollars? And it'll tell you. I do not understand that question. And said, are councils disappearing? I have no idea what you're referencing there by councils. You have been Nukem Nomad. You have definitely been out. We've given that update many times. We're waiting. Most of them have just gone quiet. A couple of the bond contacts that went quiet. One of them peeked up and said, hey, look, they have warned us very strongly that we fall back in our line of processing if we talk. So they're just, most of them are just refusing to talk. Gay's birthday. Now, whether or not they've got money, that's what we're trying to get to. It is ripping. Yeah, I'm not certain I get that one, GW. Trying to make sense out of some of you guys' comments, but I'm getting them out of context, so it makes it tough. Happy 42nd anniversary to Roy and Johnny. So Roy and Johnny are joining Jay and Amy in the anniversary wishes. Let's see, MacMan, do you really think we're going to get a 2000 stimulus check from President Trump? I really do. I honestly do. I think you're going to see both sides embrace it, and I think the Democrats are going to embrace it out of fear of not wanting to give it, looking like they're keeping it away, especially coming off of the capitulation in the budget showdown. I think it's looking good on that front. All right, let's keep running. We did all those. Oh, now we're going to get into regular news. Senate approves bill to end government shutdown, sending it to the House. The multi-part package punts funding to January 2026. Specifically, they have funded through January 30th at midnight, I believe, meaning January 31st, beginning of the day. They don't have funds again. This is a temporary funding bill, but they have squeezed in a 3-part mini omnibus to fund SNAP, USDA through the end of the year, and a couple other programs. We'll get into those. Don't worry. Including a full year funding for food stamp programs so that we won't be here again. 10 Democrats crossed the line to vote with the Republicans. Of course, Rand Paul refused to. But he did try to include a vote and add an amendment related to a hemp-derived cannabis product bill that he tried to squeeze in there. Oh, wait a minute. I wonder if he ended up voting for it. Anybody got an update on that one? Trying to see if it told me in this article. I have to go back and clear that one up. Unless you guys already have it cleared up. All right, let's run. So they have approved the bill to end the government shutdown. Now let's get into some of the back and forth. Infighting boils over after a handful of Democrats vote to reopen government. How quickly the tone of the Democratic Party has changed in the past week. Only a few days ago, they were boasting about a blue wave. And now they are upset as many have jumped the line. Number of them saying that the Democratic Party is getting too extreme and selling out to the extremes on the left side. Now, what is interesting are the number of people now calling for the resignation of Democratic leaders, meaning specifically most of the calls are for Chuck Schumer to step down because he could not pull this one off. What do you guys think? Is it time? I'm wondering if we should encourage this. In other words, should we be going on social media and going, I cannot believe that Chuck Schumer failed the Democrats. And now they got the spending bill. Doesn't seem to matter that people are going to get to eat and food stamps are going to be there and poor families are going to have food. That doesn't seem to matter. What they're upset about is Schumer caved. They were like, if we could have just held out till after Thanksgiving or close to Thanksgiving, Trump probably would have caved. We should have just held out longer. Not letting military get paid, not letting TSA get paid, not letting all these other agencies get paid. They believe they should have held out, and daggone that Chuck Schumer for caving. Yeah, this movie sucks. Eagle says Rand Paul voted against. So I'm just kind of curious. I mean, yeah, absolutely be Chuck Schumer needs to go, but not for the reason they're coming with. I'm stirring the pot. Yes, I am, Jim. I'm stirring the pot. That's what they do to us. Are we going to continue to fight with both our hands tied behind our back and one leg in a cast? Or are we going to come out? Are we going to come out with the same? Well, I'd like to think that we'll never stoop to all those levels. Joseph, I wish I knew what to tell you on the pending account. All I get is straight to voicemail. Kirby, thank you for that one. That's all I'm getting on that contact right now, which I think is a great thing. Oh, where are we? Okay, we're in the infighting, the fallout right now over it. What else? Oh, the Obama secret at the heart of the shutdown. Insurers made billions at taxpayers' expenses. Subsidies have greatly expanded by the Biden administration during COVID pandemic as an emergency measure, but Democrats have fought to keep them permanent. Those subsidies went mostly to Democratic donors. The little secret as to why healthcare has already got, well, I shouldn't say this. Healthcare was already running into, it was already a mess before Obamacare. Obamacare simply magnified it exponentially and made it worse. Whoa. Let's see. Some good figures here for you. The nation's largest health insurance companies have seen good business since Obamacare was first passed in 2010 and fully implemented in 2014. This has come in no small part because of federal government subsidies to the insurance industry, which government estimates show totaled $1.8 trillion in 2023 alone. We are basically compounding the problems that were already there. Some great examples. Let's do a little search here. Do a little quick search. I just went to Amazon. I threw in something like CPAP machine. Sleep apnea, CPAP machine. If you buy one out of your own pocket, $8,000-9,000. If you get one through insurance, has anybody taken the time to go back and look at the process, everything it takes, not only to get approved, the doctor's appointments to go to it. But I had one doctor comment that it was about 12 grand for a piece of equipment that cost them about $800 because the insurance requirements, what they require you to do, the number of doctor's appointments they require you to do, that $1,000 item cost you about 12 grand. Anybody think regulation may or may not be a problem here? That is just one very quick, easy example, and you can find it over and over and over in the healthcare industry. That is just one. I could sit here, we could come up with 1,000 during a podcast of what they do. It's absolutely fraud. It's fraud and abuse, and it is a protected system. It's a mafia style system that they have created where they protect everything. You can't do anything without them. So you got to go through their process and everybody gets a cut, and you end up paying not like 20% more, 30% more. No, we're talking about 10x, 100x. You're paying obscenely over because of the system they put in. And boy, I tell you what, trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in revenue is what these companies have made with the introduction of Obamacare. They were making it before. It was bad before. It just made it absolutely unmanageable and horrendous. Mark, yes, they're still working on HCL law. They have passed parts of it. They have agreed to parts. Now we need the whole thing passed. No wonder they push sleep apnea, right? It's a great little moneymaker. And the way they do it, though, is the insurance company rents the machine instead of paying the machine. So insurance is a couple $100 a month. You guys may only be paying $50, maybe $100 a month. Anybody out there have one? What is it costing you per month for your machine on your insurance? I'm curious. This is just one of the many examples I pulled. And they are easy to come up with. Let's see. Nebulizer was going to cost $250 a month to rent through insurance. Found same model at the pharmacy. Purchase outright, $56. Clara Wayne, great example. Anybody else with some healthcare examples like that? She will. There's a lot of things you can do. Let's see. CPAP runs over $2K when I get one every 5 years with insurance. I get supplies on Amazon at a fraction of the cost of the medical stores with insurance paying. Think of that. CPAP over 2K when you get one. Meanwhile, if you just bought the machine straight out, it would be half of that. David, 150 a month for oxygen. We replaced the monitor of mine for 100. Getting a farm, oh, absolutely makes sense to me. When you have a loved one who stops breathing up to 20 times a night, it's worth. Absolutely, no, I get it. But why does it have to cost that much? Stevie, my CPAP was $2,200, and that was what it cost you. Think about it. Now, how much was paid for by insurance? Reading a few of these guys. I know I need to get back to news. We should have Jonathan Otto coming in soon. Yorkshire, I've been told very explicitly that you can exchange anywhere you are legally. If you're there legally, you can exchange there. Yeah, 3 months now to see a doctor. You get sick, unless you go to like an urgent care and wait in the line. You don't call your doctor and say, I'm sick. Can you see me? Oh, we can get to you in 3 months. Do you have a referral? It is absolutely nuts out there. Nancy, that is largely true, but not 100% of the time. But change your diet, you won't need a CPAP. Probably 90% of the time, Nancy is spot on that one. Many of the things that we treat because we don't take better care of ourselves. That is not always true. There are some people that simply have sleep apnea. They are thin, they're in shape, they eat well. I'm reading a few of these. I need to keep going. Yeah, call it medical grade and the cost skyrockets. It is crazy because a lot of these machines that they have, they're all medical. Well, not, I shouldn't say all. Most of them are medical grade equipment. And the difference is a sticker on one is a sticker not on another. And then suddenly it costs like 5 times more. It's nuts. Steven, will we have Ron the inventor on soon? Yeah, Ron is joining us on the 25th of this month. He's joining us on the 25th of this month. All right, let's keep running. Oh, well, that's awesome. My CPAP's $12 per month rent with no upfront costs. Hacker, that's probably a good insurance policy. And where was that? We need to get back to news. We did the Obama thing, the FBI. What a fantastic one. Hopefully, come on. Where is this one? I need this one. There we go. The FBI knew more about J6 than they let on. Today's early edition, we discuss several related stories, including the identity of the J6. What I'm really trying to get to in this one is the identity of the J6 bomber. What we have learned recently, supposedly, and we're waiting for more details on the January 6th bomber, pipe bomber. And though many had already been tapping their feet with impatience, the name of the individual tentatively identified by gait analysis, how they walk because they've got a limp, as the probable pipe bomber was released over the weekend. Yes, it's a woman who at the time was a Capitol Hill police officer and now works for the CIA. No, we aren't making this up. We like to follow the same rule Dan Bongino does, the 48-hour rule, sometimes 72 hours or longer, rather than jump on a report that so often in the fog of war turns out to be wrong. So pending more verification, we'll hold off on reporting the name of this alleged key player in the pipe bomb, let alone posting pictures of her. 2 words, Richard Jewell. In other words, is she just a patsy? Look it up if you don't know who Richard Jewell is. But the evidence is compelling. So for now, we'll tell you what's been reported. She reportedly can solve a Rubik's Cube in less than a minute and ran the 2018 Boston Marathon in 3 hours, 34 minutes, and 9 seconds. She was a rising women's soccer player until serious injury to her right leg took her out of the game permanently. As the story goes, that's why she wasn't hard to identify by her gait, as the injury left her with a slight limp. It really is like something out of a movie. As reported by Steve Baker and Joe Hannon at Blaze Media, she was a member of the department's Civil Disturbance Unit and training officer in the use of less lethal crowd control weapons that were extensively used on the J6 crowd and aimed at heads. Her presence in that unit might have been one reason the application of gait analysis was narrowed down to a manageable group. The misuse of those weapons on J6, as you know, is an ongoing issue. The forensic analysis that matched her distinctive gait to the pipe bomber produced a 94 to 98% match, which from reports is extremely high. As the Blaze explains, this technology is a software algorithm that analyzes walking parameters, including flexion, knee bend, hip extension speed, step length, cadence, and variance. To those who might not buy into this, we'd say to anyone who immediately recognized a loved one at a distance in a poorly lighted parking lot by his or her movements was using the same factors intuitively. Seriously, don't you always know? You just know. You see them move, and you know because of the way they move who they are. The Blaze reports the suspect's residence is in Alexandria, Virginia, appeared to be under watch by law enforcement Friday night. Two other sources, they also said, familiar with gait analysis, viewed the video comparison of software analysis, told Blaze News. They concurred that the video samples matched the gait of the gray hoodie-wearing subject. Worked for the Capitol Police, planted bombs to whip up the crowd, works for the CIA now. Perhaps, I guess, many people are out there questioning, did she work for the CIA before? Is this a Lee Harvey Oswald? Is this a Jules? Is this really the person in the CIA has been planning a color revolution in our own country? I'll let you guys make your own conclusions on this one. But isn't it crazy how every time we turn around, it's CIA this or CIA that, from the new governor of Virginia to here in Alexandria, Virginia resident, and now CIA employee may have planted a pipe bomb outside the RNC and DNC to whip things up on January 6th. I'm going to let you guys figure this one out. Smells fishy to me. Yeah, did she get promoted? And now she is officially working at the CIA. I wish I knew what to say. Wish I knew what to say. All right. We did that one. I kept it a little bit short on the news, so I'd be ready for Jonathan. Let's see if he has responded as to when he is going to be in here. No update yet. Cindy's son's 19th, but it will give us a chance to go ahead and sing before he comes and joins us. Colette, are you going to have our friend read the Armistice Day letter she found from a soldier? It was her grandfather's, Colette, and she has already read it. Splur, the pipe bomber's tied to someone's. Make her talk before she goes get maybe. Let's see. Tom says you're being used to spread consensus. NSA always knew who she is. This is a soft rollout of extremely secure measures that use the human reading these. I'm with, CIA needs to be folded. And if we need an organization like that, it needs to be reformed underneath the United States military, and it needs to have oversight. Very much believe that. They have lost sight of why they were created. Or perhaps we were just misinformed as to why they were started. Question: why is the CIA a problem with John Ratcliffe in charge? Have you ever gone to work, Randy, in a company and it was run so poorly or so toxically that no matter how good a job you do, it takes a while to straighten it out? Have you ever been in a job like that? Think of the CIA now like that. Now think of all the intelligence people and the egos that go with it. Many of them believe they're not all. I know some folks that work CIA that are just absolute world-class people and truly want to help their nation, and they love their country. And I know some that believe that we are all too stupid to breathe and they need to tell us what we need to think. Unfortunately, too many of those have been in charge for too long. Needs to be reorganized under the military as far as I'm concerned. Molly, happy birthday. All right, let's do sing happy birthdays before Jonathan gets in here, just to be safe. One, once again, congratulations on the celebration of anniversaries for Jay and Amy, and also Roy and Johnny. Now, on the birthday side, hopefully I'm pronouncing this one right because she is about to be a dentist soon. A couple years, I think she's like going to dental school for it to be a dentist. Leonida Nicole, 22nd birthday. Linda R.W. Victor. Barrett, Gay, Molly. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love, may all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. To all those celebrating. Yeah, I'm loving what we're seeing with gold and silver as it rallies. J Bar Delta, there's a rumor that we're coming back as a republic when this government shutdown is finalized. I don't think we're coming back as a republic until we reset, but maybe we're resetting at the same time they come back to work. It would certainly fit with a number of bond contacts, bank contacts, and groups. Over the weekend, had some more movement among groups where they were positioning for this week. So cross your fingers. I mean, there's a million rumors running around on that front. What you can, prove in any way is a whole different story. Number of sources out there, a number of them from many different groups, I should say, or a number of different groups, maybe not many. That may be a little too strong a word. Saying that they're going to do the initial payments in a stable coin on these, including for like fines and penalties. Instead of doing it fiat, they would do it in a stable coin. So it was safer and more trackable before they reset to our new currency and gold back. There's some very interesting rumors running around. The problem is they're just rumors. So a lot of them I haven't shared. Probably should talk about them more. The problem is most people can't distinguish when we're talking about the potentials and the rumors and what is absolutely proven or true. Mr. C has not been paid yet. We texted this morning. What does positioning mean, Mitchell? Like, where are you at in line? Like, are you 6th in line, 10th in line, 20th in line? You're standing in line, maybe to concert to buy a ticket, maybe just to check out at the grocery store. Position, are you next in line? Are you 10th in line? That type of thing. That's what we mean by position. And would you want to screw up and then you got to move to the back of the line, which is wrapped all the way around the produce section? That's what we're getting at by position. Nepotism in politics, closest thing to king sitting on. Yeah, it really is. You're not wrong. We had another one to the 29th. Alley Cat. Happy 29th again. I like that one. Yeah, over here on the metals prices, according to Miles Franklin, we're trending at $4,111.40 on gold, silver at $50.47. Mitzi, happy birthday. Steven, what if we were paid in stable coins? Any thoughts? It would kind of actually make sense, Steven. Even the Russian comments over Trump's plan would be basically to replace our U.S. fiat currency with a stable coin or a backed coin. And then it would be a process. Then we turn around and do gold-backed treasuries to support the dollar, becoming like a hybrid gold standard. And then that would be moved over into the new accounting system, what we call a QFS system. It would have a different name. It's just what we call it. It would kind of make sense for them to do that way. I should have Zester on again sometime soon. Go back and reference what we discussed in the John Dowling podcast with Zester and I this past month. Let's see. With internal studies predicting the floating dinar could stabilize automatically, a value in the distant future, in the future between 322 and 4.25 dinar to the dollar. Yeah, huge change. Casey, bravo, I agree. Yes, the zest, the zester. It was a great product. I mean, he spelled it all out. Matter of fact, even Andy Scheckman has talked about that change. He has different names for everything than we do, but he has talked about that move to a stable backed so that it's on a ledger system, then the move to a QFS, what it means, which the technology's there. We just give it really cool, like, woo names. Yeah, I'm not worried about it saying distant barefoot because they told us the same thing. They told us, yes, we're going to revalue in Kuwait, but it's going to be way down the road. And then they revalued that day. So that terminology doesn't shake me at all. Tim, it is definitely looking pretty solid. Bad part is we just don't know the timing. Makes it tough. Cleona Spriggs' birthday, 101. Wow, that is awesome. I got to bring in my crypto fella to talk to you folks. Stablecoin simply means it is backed. It is attached to something of value. It's not just straight out of thin air made up like your currency, your fiat. Means it's like for every, let's say for every token out there, it's backed by a certain amount of gold or backed by a certain number of dollars. So if it's like Tether, for every one Tether you have, it's worth $1, and they hold $1 supposedly in a vault so that if you ever need to get it, you can get at it. Meaning it's 100% backed. Oh, wait. Songbird, happy belated on that 48th anniversary. Campfire. He's exceptionally bright. He just upset some people because he uses different terminology. And we have so many in the reset community, not just this, I'm just saying across the board, that just lose their minds when somebody uses a term differently than they would. I mean, they just melt down. But we have it on all sides of the political aisle, right, wrong, indifferent. Pretty common. And that's something that just, I'm like, I don't understand why people melt down over what somebody calls something, whether you call it the hood or the bonnet, whether you call it the QFS or you just call it blockchain ledger. I mean, different names for it, but people lose their minds. Some people call it redemption center. I call it redeeming bank. Lose their minds. No, it's not that. No, if you go to a redemption center, redeeming bank, they're going to take your money. No, you got to go to the bank. That's what we're saying. Go to the bank. Everybody just has a different terminology, and hopefully people will get over their butt hurtness and get their things out of a wad. No special news on the VND today. No special news. Okay, guys, we've got Jonathan Otto. Let's play this one. Now, the AI has started major rumors because in the AI, not only am I younger, so maybe I've been spending time in this med bed, but I also have a wedding ring on it. And now the rumors are I have moved back in time and got married. The thumbnail you made for me.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, the looks, it was like,
oh yeah. And you had a wedding ring in the photo?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. I thought it was great.
Look, I got this little guy next to me right now.
This is what we're referencing here.
Oh yeah.
You even look younger here.
Well, yeah, it was a couple years ago. My hair's shorter. I think that, I don't know, it makes me look younger.
Yeah, the hair's a little shorter. Or is there something you need to tell us? Are you further along in this MedBed progress? Is there more research we need to know about aging?
Oh yeah, it's amazing research. I mean, look, I mean, I'm a couple months short of 40, and I don't have a single gray hair, and I think there's a few things like, look, no one's perfect. Everyone's got things to work on with their health. And so there's no one that's spotless, but yeah, Mark, you're married to us. It's cute. But this anti-aging is real. And some signs of that with the fact that I had a lot of chronic illnesses from Lyme disease to Epstein-Barr, cytomegalovirus, Ross River fever, glandular fever, chronic boils breaking out of my body. I had chronic fatigue syndrome and chronic dehydration, chronic nausea. So I had to quit full-time work in my early 20s. So, that was, close to 20 years ago now. So
in other words, that is what became your motivator to learn about health.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so I was an investigative journalist. I got my degree in my early 20s, did a lot of humanitarian work, and not only publishing and covering international issues related to human trafficking. And there's my little guy. Hey, Arthur, say hi. Hey, Arthur, say hi.
Arthur, no, he's like, I'm busy, Dad.
Oh, he's got to put his head up. Like, so he never gets to play on anything, but because my wife was late and I'm outside the house because I realized that I didn't have a key. So I ended up with this little riffraff while I'm on this interview. So he's getting to do something that he never gets to do. Arthur, those mosquitoes are all around you, man. I'm worried. You should go over there, okay? You go over there because maybe they'll get away from you.
Worth a shot.
Yeah, there he goes. See you, big guy. Yeah. So yes, anti-aging to me is amazing because you're not just thinking about it from the perspective of, just looking, beautiful and like a vampire or whatever, but they're still biting you. Oh no. Sorry, Arthur. I know. Sorry, man. You got a few bites there. Just you just play that thing and then your mind will get off it. Oh, poor guy.
That'll help.
Yeah. Again, just so everyone knows, my boy is like technology free 99% of the time. So that when they get technology, like on a plane, like we put iPads on the plane, no, with Puerto Rico, that someone said, where is he? And then he is engaged because it's such a novelty for him. And I guess they can learn some skills through that, but the downside outweighs the good most of the time. So hence why they get so little exposure. But anyway, back to this. Yes, we can anti-age. Yes, we can use technologies to turn back the clock. More importantly, to regenerate our organs so that we have our eyes working so we can see, so that our kidneys are working properly, our liver is working properly, our thyroid is functioning properly, our heart is functioning normally. And this is, a big deal because these are the organ harvesting, and we're not going to talk about that, but these problems exist in the world. Even the issue with organ donors and certain incentives that mean that somebody that could have been saved is not being saved because they because they don't have they don't have real you're right, man. They don't have real therapies that can fix the problem and solve that problem systemically, and so then they end up in these horrible situations where they're desperate for an organ and all this. So but we have answers. We can actually keep people well, and we can regenerate our organs. We can turn back the clock, and hence enter MedBed technology, which I'm saying is clearly here, and I'll show you the science to prove that it's here and it's now. It's not coming. It has arrived. Yeah, people are saying he's adorable. All right, Arthur, hey, say hi. People love you. They say hi. Say love you guys.
He's like, nah.
He's such a lover. He's great. He's just too engaged right now. Yeah. So yes, I can't wait to show you guys some of this emerging science on this and why it really is replicating that, and the combination of pulse electromagnetic field therapy, PEMF, and red light therapy is the holy grail. And so what I'll get you to do, I'm going to move into the house here. Mark, I'll let you take the stage here for a second, and kind of you could explain some of the results you've been having, some of the results you're seeing in people that are in this community that have been using this. People in the chat, if you guys don't mind, anyone that's been using this technology and therapy, drop it in the chat. Let us know, because your case studies become very fascinating, because it's the wild, wild west. There are people that will be watching this that will have they're literally pioneers, and you're your own guinea pigs, but in a good way. It's not a damaging therapy, it's a safe therapy. So you become your own guinea pig, and then you end up sharing information, data, results with us that can be very powerful and help others to get these powerful results. So yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so you take the stage here for a second. I'll move into
I got it.
the
Do
house.
you want me to remove you because you're changing computers, right?
I'll keep on this computer. Don't remove me. I'll
Okay.
just I'll just take my camera off for a second, but I'll be listening the whole time.
Sounds good. For me, I started using it. Vision is what I started first because he was talking about it, and it really has made a tremendous difference. Kind of an annoying difference sometimes, though, because I don't need my reading glasses much, so I'm taking them on and off even more than I was before at like this distance. I find myself when I'm reading my Paperwhite Kindle now, sometimes I don't even use glasses, which has been fun. Number of people have noticed a great reduction in things like eczema when I am good about it. This is one of those things you actually have to use. It doesn't work by buying it and stick it in the closet. You have to work on it. Yeah, I will explain that one on the backing and stablecoin and stuff this evening. We've already got Jonathan on, so we have pivoted in what we're talking about now. But I saw Carl with a question on that one. I may see if I can get Zester to pop in and talk about that. But the whole stable coin thing backed, if it's backed by fiat, but that fiat is about to go asset backed and be backed by gold backed treasuries. So it's all J bar delta on cataracts. It takes a quick search and just do red light therapy for cataracts in your search engine. Just do a quick one. Illuminating hope, red light therapy and cataracts, red light therapy and cataracts, optimal red light, NH. Here's your own government telling us that it appears near infrared light therapy or photobiomodulation has gained persistent worldwide attention in recent years, a new novel scientific approach for therapeutic applications in ophthalmology. In other words, it is showing great hope, potential, work, etc. There are so many different studies. And whenever you've got a question, would it be good for this or good for that? One of the things that I have found probably the most interesting is how effective they're now doing red light for Alzheimer's and dementia, and having some very promising early results. A lot on this one, but anyways, just as an example on that, when you ask specifically about cataracts, benefits, insights, therapy for eyes, best brand to use, they've got all of it, but it is very well documented at this point. Very well documented. WKW, they had a heck of a time getting their shipping squared away, guys. Anybody that still has any outstanding issues, write me at theoriginalmarkz.com. I will forward it 100% like it is. So keep that in mind when you are writing it. All I'm going to do, I'm not going to add anything, change anything. I'm going to send it exactly like it is. I'm going to forward it on, and they have been tackling them nonstop. He's got 2 of his staff members that have been helping nonstop to get everybody cleared up on that front, from the crossover from one shipper or one fulfillment center to the new one, because they weren't doing a good job. So they have met it head on. A number of you folks can attest to that. Many emails back and forth with you all, and then they keep me in the loop once I forward it to make certain that you do get taken care of. The only ones that it took longer is because they wanted to include everything else in the email and long threads of them. Start me a brand new standalone email with your issue and your information, and it goes right where it needs to be and quickly gets resolved. Kathy, you're going to have to wait for his return. He's not going to be able to see your questions for a minute. Fluffy Pup, I'm laying under my red light right now. Pretty cool. Star Lady adding taurine. Guys, please talk about these things when you see them or you know them. Something like this. Star Lady just said taurine dissolves cataracts, or supposedly Dr. Artis mentioned. Dr. Artis is pretty cutting edge on a lot of things. But yeah, talk about those things. What's working for you, what's not, especially when they are very cost-effective ways. Today is son-in-law Sharon's or sister-in-law, 79th. Happy birthday to her. Let's see. Whoa. Son Susan Finkel using red light therapy, heading back for lesions on brain and spine. Some project. I probably should. Let's see. SG from West Virginia. I'm getting ready for eye appointment now. AMD, cataracts, retina neuropathy, and threats of blindness. So I need this red light therapy. How much? There are many different options depending on the size and what you're trying to accomplish. He's going to talk about that some in just a little bit. LG, I don't know the latest. I don't know the latest on that one. It was months, and I think it's down to weeks now. But
Hey,
we will
guys.
ask once we get them on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, somebody just asking, how is shipping going?
Yeah, we got on the page. It's like the 4 to 6 weeks is the expected wait time, which is solid. It allows people to make an order and be able to get what they're needing, like in this case before Christmas. And yeah, it's a great time, and it is, and we're scaling the operation, and so that's good. And I appreciate people asking, keeping clued into that. And as I've been mentioning, we've really pushed things to the utmost with having the leading technology, and we're talking about something that stays in the home for a lifetime, and we have a lifetime like rated lifespan, which is 50,000 hours, which is well over 80 years for a family. And so because of that, when you're waiting a couple extra weeks for a device versus something that just something random that's hardly does what it's supposed to do, you've got something, but now you've got something that you're going to keep using, and your time is valuable. Instead, invest in something that is going to be the best for you in the long term, and then you'll really end up in the best situation.
WKW with a question for you. How do you protect your eyes when you want to lay under it for 30 minutes? Because I do my eyes open. I do mine about 3 minutes, just what I do, and it has so far worked very well for me. My only problem with it is I don't do it often enough. And I was telling them while you were gone, I said, that's the biggest problem. You can't buy it and put it in your closet and expect it to work.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you've got to, these are the habits that we develop. There's some people here that when they get something like this, they will literally just use it, every day. They'll do 30 minutes twice a day without fail, because that's kind of, they're built that way, and they really understand the opportunity and the blessing of that. And they do that for 2 reasons. They do that for the longevity of what that means for how their life will look over the upcoming decades. And the other reason, which is to me the most exciting reason, is for the immediate benefits of how good you feel and how much more you can get done, and how much happier you are, and how much less you may fight with your spouse or your partner, because you're happier. You've got the neurochemicals being produced in your brain that you need, or you're more mobile. You're able to play with your children or grandchildren. You're able to, and then the ripple effect when you're more agile. I'll give you an example. My mother-in-law, so my wife's grandmother, so my mother-in-law's mother, fell and had a really bad cut on her head. She had to get, I think, maybe 12 stitches. And so we got a red light on her, and she was basically kind of homebody. You get older, you're in your mid 70s. She's in early 80s, so you get pretty hermity because of the risks. You might fall, and she did fall, and all of this. But she now is planning these trips, like to Florida to visit her children, that she actually previously had canceled and said, no more traveling for me. Now she's getting back to, getting her life back and fully being agile and moving around. And because she feels so great on the red light, her back pain and her mobility, everything is improved dramatically. And that was a side benefit, which is so amazing. All right.
Yeah, we still got to finish this one. How do you protect your eyes when you want to be under for more than 30 minutes?
Yes. Okay. So, it's interesting. There's different perspectives on this. One would be that you just do the 3 minutes with your eyes open, and then you switch over to doing it where you've got, your eyes closed or with goggles for the rest of your session. Now, and so that's the basic way. You know, it comes with protective eyewear, so you can just do that at any time. You revert to that other way of doing it. The other way is that you look into it the whole time. Now, that's interesting, considering most people would say don't do that. I do it. So it really is the wild, wild west. It's about like doing what you know to be good and to be effective. And so the reason why I do that is because there's nothing showing any evidence that it's damaging to eyesight. It's only improving things for my health. And so that benefit of being able to do it in that way is really awesome for me. So I'm definitely sticking to that method of doing it. So I would just advise, you know, people kind of do what they think with the research in that regard.
Ray wanting to know, because we talked about cataracts out of the gate, what's the cost of the red light product for cataracts? And that I was trying to explain that lots of different packages, lots of different potential.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say that you could use anything. Like you could use a red light belt for your eyes. You could use a red light panel like the one behind me for your eyes. You know, you can't really use the mask because it's got the eye cut out holes. You could kind of level it over your eyes and look into it, but you'd take out the blue and just go with the red because that's what's proven for eyesight. So it's really kind of up to you with that. And so here we've got an example of a red light therapy belt, and then you could literally look into that, and the irradiance there is actually high enough. In fact, it's higher than what's in, you know, the studies, which is great. And then same with this, you just take out the blue and then you'd look into that. So very, very simple in that regard. And Mark, I'll just do a little tech change here on my setup. So I'll let you go full screen. And maybe you can answer some questions with some studies that you're finding yourself, because you're such a good researcher. and then I'll share some of the MedBed data that we've been pulling up, which is really fun.
No, it is fun to pull those. I have not PAB. We'll have to ask them that question. I don't have contact, so I don't ask. And again, folks, I've already had an email come in that's in a thread. If you still have any problem left over from their earlier fulfillment center, whatever, shipping questions, whatever, standalone, brand new email so that I can forward it with the information that needs to be there so they can help you get to the answer. And many of the problems we have noticed have been in the shippers, not in them. Somebody had asked, I don't know if you're there. I should probably hide you while you're making your tech change.
Yeah, please do. Nice.
Okay. All right. Now get to it. Let's find out, Greg. Let's find out if it helps with for high blood pressure. Whoa. If I can spell blood, right? Let's see. What did it tell us? Red light therapy may have potential benefits for lowering high blood pressure. Here are some of the key points. Gets into the mechanisms. Let's see. Red light therapy for lowering high blood pressure. Let's just look at a couple of the websites. How does it work? Works by stimulating production of adenosine triphosphate, ATP, which is the energy source for cells. The stimulation increases the activity of cells, leading to improved blood flow, reduced inflammation, and enhanced tissue repair. Has anybody out there been using a red light and noticed a change in their blood pressure? I'd be curious for anybody in real life what your reports on. And Go Titan, we will have to ask it or ask him that question, and he will do exactly what I'm doing 99% of the time. He will do that quick web search, or he will use an AI to help him pull multiple sources to kind of just give it a synopsis. I'm reading a few of these, looking for a couple of more good questions. There is some indications for Parkinson's. Michelle, prayers for your family, though. What does it do for diabetes? Well, I mean, there's more than one. They have my red light. They also have, and I do not know which one might be better. Perhaps we could ask it. When What I mean by that is which might be better, either a PEMF mat or maybe a red light or a combination. So that question is for diabetes. So let's just ask it. See what's out there. See what kind of research exists on that front. Red light therapy shows promise in lowering blood sugar levels and may help manage diabetes, particularly type 2 diabetes, according to recent studies. And now keep in mind, guys, read the studies. If you have a question, read the studies. Some videos by some different doctors. Here's Roger Seaholt saying red light therapy reduces blood glucose and increases metabolism. There is so much research, guys. You don't even have to take my word for it, Jonathan's word for it, anybody. You can like go and take the doctors and the studies, the peer-reviewed studies. There's so many out there. And sometimes we need more. It looked like you were close to ready, so I brought you back.
Oh, I'm
Maybe
so
too
ready,
soon.
man. This is so perfect. Look, there we go. In the studio, looking good, and we're good to
Now you're
roll.
back. Now,
Yes.
somebody, I do not have a mat yet. I am still waiting on the shipping side of that one myself. Somebody asked me if I ever got a mat.
Oh yeah, I've just got something different for you. That's what's going on there, because there's something like, because of your mobility
Condition.
there. I'm going with something like that we're particularly manufacturing for you. That's the reason with that, because we've done many cycles of that in the interim. So my apologies on that. You've just got something specific that we're working on for you because of the fact
Mobility.
that so I'll show you that. I'll do a video with you later what we've done specifically there, but with I'll show you guys the science and studies on what we have and what's been going out to all our folks on that, which is made a huge difference for multiple folks in our community, whether it's people like David Nino Rodriguez or Seth Holhouse, people that you either may know or network or connect with, and so that's good. Let me pull this up. I'll show you guys. Let's go here.
Kathy, you're asking if it's safe to use the Pro 300 Max every day for 30 minutes set on all.
Absolutely. In fact, the preference for me is to do as much as even an hour, so 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening, if you have the time and ability to do that. Otherwise, 30 minutes once a day is great. As little as 15 minutes a day can be just perfect. And so it's really based on how much time you have. There are some really great studies showing these like durations where people will go for an entire hour and a half, and they're using this for conditions like long COVID and going into complete remission after 4 sessions of that length, as per the European Society of Medicine study, which is amazing. Great.
And somebody had asked for like rheumatoid arthritis, and so I did a quick search, and just every time I turn around, I'm blown away by just what pops up, how much research pops up, and then by some of the organizations that have done the research.
Absolutely, no, that's fantastic. I'll show you guys some of this here. So let's have a look at this. Go share screen. Okay, share screen. Let's go this. So have a look at what we've found here. You can see that pretty clear, right? Let's make sure that's full.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see my screen? Can you make that?
I can definitely make that one. Anybody with any kind of service questions or issues or whatever, again, send me an email to originalmarkz@gmail.com, addressed to Jonathan, and I will get it where it goes so he can hand it off to his people.
Yes, absolutely.
I want to make certain everybody gets taken care of.
Absolutely. So, and Gail, I've just actually forwarded that right now to customer service, just so you know. And I'll be on top of that myself to resolve that issue. Not a problem. Okay, great.
What is this, like wet and red light therapy or WT?
Yeah, good question.
I'm not certain what the WET part is.
Yeah, nor I. So I need to let me just see what they might be referring to. Okay, we'll find out what that. You could ask
Yep.
maybe a little bit more specific there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
great.
desailing, if you can get a little more specific in that one, would be great. And then, I mean, we're getting all kinds of questions. So you're just going to get overloaded. What emits the
Yeah.
light closest to normal sunlight?
So it's interesting that closest to normal sunlight would actually be like a incandescent bulb. And the downside with that, though, is that even though you've got full spectrum, which is good, the irradiance isn't high enough. And that's why you'll find that they're not used in advanced treatment. They're not in advanced studies. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. We have something very close to natural sunlight because of the fact that we use 9 wavelengths. So we cover a broader spectrum. Most devices will only have 2 wavelengths. And so that it gives you the best of both worlds. So you've got a broad spectrum of having 480, 590, 630, 660, 670, 810, 830, 850, and 1060. So you've got all 9 wavelengths that are most proven, but then you've got a high power delivery in each of those wavelengths, which allows you to get really deep and systemic healing. So I'll show you what I'm talking about with this fascinating concept of how people have been wondering whether MedBed technology is real. And what we've found is that it is real, and that there is some fictional elements that are out there, like alien technology, which people that are Christians that research that understand or believe that is demonic, which I actually think that whole concept and some of those things they're not good or they're not true. And then you've got the understanding that the government is going to release this and it's going to be free to the public, which may or may not be true. But it's red light therapy in this context, when you have a device in your home, becomes a free therapy because it becomes unlimited in its usage. And so it's interesting that it does it does tap into that ability for things to be universally accessible, or you could get your loved ones on this. Like, I've gifted all my family members red light, so it was free for them, right? So it just depends on how you see that. But here I've explained how red light is amplifying nature's power, and sunlight is a beautiful full spectrum healer, and much of the regenerative red and near infrared light is kind of filtered out before we can get it. And so if you notice a sunrise and a sunset, it's that perfect tint of red, and it is very beneficial, but the irradiance isn't high enough for what I'm about to show you, which is why the results are so profound in such small periods of time. And what we've done is taken these red and near infrared wavelengths, and we've delivered light at around 40 times the strength of the sun in those healing frequencies, which is really amazing to look at that. And you can actually test the numbers in ChatGPT and other AI, Grok, or whichever platform you like to use, and compare the radiance that's in this device that's behind me to the sun, and you'll find that it lands anywhere between that 10 to 40 times, depending on certain factors. And then we've got here that the translation there is to faster mitochondrial activation, and it's activating the aspects of the cells that are to do with cellular respiration, how cells will take energy and produce gases like nitric oxide and cytochrome C oxidase. And then this will then be used for like amplifying and just speeding up and activating the body's natural healing processes. So red light doesn't heal you. Your body heals itself. Red light is the energy source that cells use for energy production, that then causes it to undergo cellular repair, regeneration of tissue, and the creation of new blood vessels, and endothelial growth factors, vascular growth, and regenerative factors. And then PEMF is also mimicking the Earth's magnetic field. And by combining these together, you've amplified how all plants and animals thrive. And you see this with trees. They're getting 2 things at once. They're getting light, and yes, they're taking oxygen from the air, which is what we do naturally when we breathe, but they're getting the pulse magnetic field from the Earth. And this is why you'll notice that the trees are thriving while we are suffering. What are they getting that we're not? And so here's an example of the light penetration into the leaf and the different spectrums. So you've got, and these are also in the device. You'll see a wavelength that is on the green spectrum. It's a yellowish green, which is in the 500 range. 530 is the peak of green. We've got around that range, the 590, which is activating in that realm. And then you've got the red and near infrared and far infrared penetrating to deeper depths of the leaves, and then causing the photosynthesis that causes them to thrive and to produce energy and to give us the food and the things that we need in our environment to survive. So it's awakening every cell, it's restoring balance, it's recharging your system from the inside out. And it's a fusion of energy, magnetism, and light that is causing the repair and regeneration of the cells. And it's the bedrock of the genesis of life, of how things have come to exist and how things continue to thrive and live. And without it, everything shuts down. So you see these illustrations here. You're seeing this field of these two different things happening simultaneously, and these are great illustrations, visual references. And you'll notice that plant is mirroring itself. Like what you see above is what you see below, but in two different structures. One is the leaves on the top, and on the bottom the roots. And it's interesting that both red light and PEMF both interface with the mitochondria, and they're doing it in different ways, one through magnetism, the other one through light. Both are working with the magnetics of the body, but one is driven by the magnetic field and certain frequencies that the earth emits, the Schumann resonance being the key example with that 1 to 30 hertz range. And then we've got the light charging the mitochondria through visible and invisible light, like near infrared and red. And this is the process that the plants are using to grow and thrive. And so you'll see that these two different aspects are working with how the body produces hormones, how we promote growth and repair and anti-inflammatory signaling across tissues. We're working with how the Earth's magnetic field works. It's stabilizing ion flow in cells. It's restoring optimal voltage for healing. And this is what we get from grounding. And so we should be grounding. We should be getting our shoes off, getting into the sand, into the ocean, and onto the earth, the dirt. And you'll find that this is then neutralizing the EMFs and causing this natural regeneration of the body. And ironically, I'll show you a comparison. You'll be surprised at the differences here. I'll go over to this. I'll show you like a comparison with the magnetic waves here. Let's have a look here. So look here, this is straight out of ChatGPT of comparing the magnetic field strength of this PEMF mat with using a 150 millitesla magnetic field strength, and compare that to the Earth's grounding. It's 0.00005, which is 4 zeros millitesla versus 150 millitesla. So that is a huge difference. Someone could give us the comparison in multiples there. The amplitude difference is 1,000,000 times stronger, and the Earth still has a weak natural weak static field. The wave type is pulsed and oscillating. It's frequency modulated electromagnetic signals from a PEMF, a high quality clinical PEMF device, which is a clinical device that's a consumer at-home system. You've got the static DC coupling to the Earth's negative potential. You've got the mechanism there is the dynamic stimulation, and it's using microcurrents deep within tissues, penetrating bones, nerves, and organs. The effect, it's acting like a constant trickle charger, slow, steady, and restorative. And then you've got the frequency range of those two actually need to be reversed. So the PEMF device is actually 1 to 100 hertz, and I can show you that direct from ChatGPT. And the frequency range of the Earth is 0. So those flicked into the other panels, other columns. So And you do have to choose, by the way. So with PEMF, you have to choose. It's not like you can do all 30 at the same time. So that's where you need to say, well, look, I want to use this for sleep. What is the best frequency for sleep? And if you find that that's 2 or 4 hertz, then you just put it on 4 or 2. Or if you find it's best for back pain at 15, because that's what it says when you looked at studies, you just put in what's the best frequency for PEMF for back pain, then you just find that answer. And if it gives you a couple different answers, experiment with each one. But you can't go wrong, just so you know. Every one of the frequencies between 1 and 30, which is on the device that you guys can order today, every one of those frequencies are healing, and they all will work in very similar ways. But if you want to get more specific, then choose the one that best suits your challenge. I'll let you chime in here, Mark.
Yeah, I didn't know if you could hear me or not.
Yeah, I can.
I was clicking the buttons, but I was waiting for the internet to catch up.
Oh, nice.
Let's see where. Oh yeah, my screen's doing some funky stuff. You're gonna have to bear with me. I don't know what's going on with the internet on my end, but
you can keep having fun over there.
Something's gone a little bit wacky. Let's see. I did have somebody mention that they had looked up and do not use red light with wet, whatever that. And then I still do not understand what that means. Yeah. I tried to look it up. I came up with, a dozen different possibilities for that one. So it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It happens.
But I was trying. Now,
nice.
Here's an interesting one. 1963, as many people discover these and they have great success. Do you have an affiliate program for them? They want to go out and spread the word.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'll give you the link to go to myredlight.com/ put in call. Let me just grab that. And then you can book a call. So myredlight.com/ call. And then you'll get on a call with my team, and they can help you get set up, and I'll get that activated right now. Let me just put that over to my team so that you guys can jump on that. Can you make this available?
And you guys can schedule a call or whatever if you are interested. That's pretty cool. I didn't know you did that. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely. And so then now come over to, here we go. Oh, yeah, this is great. So I'll show you here. This study, I don't know if I've showed you this one yet. Did I show you this one with Hashimoto's? We talked a lot about thyroid, but this study is a blockbuster study because you'll see that it was a 12-month study. There was 97 women in the study, and they did combine vitamin D and selenium supplementation. So you'll notice that if you have a chronic condition, doing combinations is definitely a good idea. Now, the people that did this, 96% of the women with chronic autoimmune thyroiditis, which in this case was Hashimoto's thyroiditis, went from an enlarged thyroid to a normal sized thyroid in 12 months. That was 96% of the women. And that lowered harmful antibodies. It improved hormone balance, and it even reduced the need for medication. So that's blockbuster. So people are aware Hashimoto's is irreversible from even a functional medicine perspective. They're only medicating the issue with supplements, and they don't get the doctors that are leading that conversation are not getting their patients better. And I know, and they're charging literally, and I could tell you $1,000 a consultation. They have 6-month waiting lists. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not going to name names because they're getting me on to educate on their shows, and they're very kind of unaware of the true benefit of this. And then when people understand this as well, you can amplify the results by opening your eyes and looking into the light, because you're charging the mitochondria, and the brain is working together with the thyroid to turn around that health condition. So in this study as well, the patients experience weight loss, better body measurements, and you'll see that direct from the study here. It was in waist to hip circumference, waist to hip ratio, thyroid stimulating hormone, etc. And what you'll find with this is that it's so impressive. Red light is being used instead of liposuction, and it's working through a process called photonic lipolysis, and that is it's breaking open the fat cells and it's piercing them with the light and causing those fat cells to dissolve. So it's really cool. People will lose inches in single sittings, and it's because of this swelling. We're not even understanding weight properly. This is inflammation, and it's interfacing directly with this. And so people are literally, like, hence the concept of a med bed. You're literally causing the body to be able to reduce this inflammation in rapid times, and therefore you're losing weight in rapid times. Very comparable to liposuction without the dangers and lack of any health benefits to liposuction. There's the different wavelengths. We got
Dan
Alzheimer's.
wants to know if your cancer book's available yet.
Oh, yes, great. Not yet. Thank you for asking. The cancer off switch. I think I held that up and read the recommendation recently. Did I? That on your show? It was Dr. Tony Jimenez from the Hope for Cancer Center wrote a really good recommendation on the book. He said he's the CMO, which is the chief medical officer, not marketing. He's a medical doctor, and he shared that. He said this book isn't just recommended; it's essential. And this is a potential lifesaver, and Jonathan's innovative healing modalities are like a innovative and pioneering field, and that's why he's had me doing trainings with these medical doctors in his clinics.
Now you got when you were flashing through slides, there was one popped up about prostate and prostate cancer.
Oh yeah,
Valley is. Please ask him to bring it up again. The one about prostate.
Oh, yeah.
I've had prostate cancer since 2022.
Yes.
You're getting. I'm trying to keep up, guys. I don't think I could possibly get to it. I am getting inundated with questions for him.
Yes, absolutely.
Catching as many as I can.
Yeah, exactly. This one here is great. I'm going to show you two side by side, and I'm going to give these as illustrations for the fact that red light and PEMF are arguably the holy grail against prostate cancer. And this was one that used. I'm going to show you the one that was using 413 participants. It was described as truly transformative. I'll show these side by side. So firstly, the PEMF, researchers studied how PEMF could support prostate cancer treatment combined with microwave ablation. They tested prostate cancer cells in the lab using different setups. Some only got microwaves, some PEMF, some got both. The combination of PEMF and microwave therapy was found to be more effective at stopping cancer cells from spreading and made them more likely to die off. Even when used alone, PEMF slowed the ability of cancer cells to move, which could help reduce the risk of cancer spreading to other parts of the body. In simple terms, the study suggests that PEMF may help weaken cancer cells and make treatments more effective, showing promise as supportive, non-invasive therapies for prostate cancer, though more research is needed. That's always what they're going to say, no matter what. I'll show you this example here. This is prostate cancer laser treatment, which is a red light therapy. By the way, LEDs are replicating and are the same as lasers, and they are better. And the reason why they're better is because it allows for full body treatment at home, whereas lasers have to only be used localized, and they have the issue of overheating. And then they have the issue of being 20 to 30 times the cost. So you may be talking about $50,000 for that laser. And so you'd go and get that treatment, but you wouldn't be able to continue to do it. So you have to ask the question, why did I get this in the first place? How should I set up my home so that I don't get this again? Because it's not just about getting rid of it. So this study on red light was 413 men. So it was a big study. It was published in the Lancet Oncology. And it's showing as well the issue with erectile dysfunction. 9 in 10 patients developed erectile problems, and up to a fifth struggle to control their bladders. So this is a issue that is happening. Now, in the two groups, here's the visuals illustrating this. You see the cancerous tissue, the healthy tissue. When lit, the drugs act on the cancer, but healthy cells and tissue is left intact. So you can see how this is illustrated in this diagram. Now, the way to do this without drugs is methylene blue would fall into that supplement drug crossover because it's a medication and it's one of the oldest medications, one that has proven to be safe. You do that before, about 30 minutes before red light, and it will activate. And if you run ChatGPT on this and say, what's the best proven photosensitizer, methylene blue scores the highest in all categories, and it's super cheap. There's a good product from a company, Earth Harmony, which is the spinoff of Global Healing. That's the sister company. Dr. Ed Group, you could look at his methylene blue. It has nano gold and silver in it. And you could then use that together with the red light. Dr. Ed Group uses our products, as does Dr. Brian Artis' team and Dr. Henry Ely. I'm giving you names, Mike Adams. The Hope for Cancer Center is doing a rollout of our red lights for their patients and in their clinic, which is in Cancun and Tijuana. So, it's really impressive to kind of know the people. Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, some of the notorious guys, if you follow any of these people. But anyway, in this trial, 49% of the patients went into complete remission. And then during the follow-up, only 6% of the patients needed to have the prostate removed, which is amazing. And the control group that didn't take red light, it was 13.5% went into remission, which is about it's close to 400% increase in the ability to beat prostate cancer. So this gives us a really powerful illustration of how both of those therapies work, the PEMF and the red light, but they're working through different mechanisms. They're both proven for the same condition. And what I'll prove to you is whatever the condition, that is the duo that you want to use, because it is how nature works. And I would be here all day to show you every different type. Like this one is on breast cancer cells, and this was with PEMF. It showed that it slowed their growth, triggered cell death, pushed them into a state called senescence, where cells stop multiplying but don't die right away. Here you find that not only did PEMF harm the cancer cells and not harm the healthy cells, but it actually increased the viability and the effectiveness and functioning of normal fibroblasts. And there was no harmful effects of PEMFs, which is amazing. Senescence acts as the body's natural defense against cancer by stopping damaged cells from dividing, essentially putting the brakes on potential tumor growth. Now, look at this. I'm just going to put into Google, share this tab instead. Breast cancer, 40% drop from 660 nanometer red light. This was an in vitro study on human cell lines. Here you'll see that it has been shown in MTTSA that at 24 hours post light exposure time point, LED light with wavelength 660 possessed anti-proliferative effects against both cell lines with 40% reduction of cell viability. So in 24 hours, the growth dropped by 40%. And notice this word again, typical characteristics of cell senescent. So the cells were flattening within large size, the cancer cells, which means that this was cell senescence. The cells stopped multiplying. But they didn't die right away, and that's the process that you want to see. Once they see that, bam, this is activating this apoptosis, which is programmed cell death. See, two different therapies working against the same condition. It's not actually doing what people think it's doing. It's not in that it's this killing machine. It's normalizing how cells function, and it's giving cells what they need to function normally. So do
we just theoretically throw red lights up all over our home? We hear bad things about a lot of LED lights in general when we moved from incandescent to LED, but I don't think everybody understands the difference. It's not all LEDs are bad. Certain LEDs are very bad spectrums for light.
Yes. Yes, I would actually even correct that it's actually the flicker rate that's the issue. So whether it was red or blue or green or another color is not the issue. The issue is, which is the spectrum still, that's the wavelength of the spectrum. The issue is the flicker rate. So if I go into your house and you're sitting there in bed at night and I go and turn your light on and say, hey, Mark, and then I turn it off and say, bye, Mark, and turn it on, hi, Mark, and bye, and I keep doing that on and off, everything in your body is going to get damaged, not just your eyesight because of the flicker rate. It's because it's on, off, on, off, on, off. That's what LEDs are doing in the home. And so when you're getting a high quality device, it needs to be with a zero flicker. And that's what we've got in our devices, zero flicker, zero EMFs. And that's what you're looking for. That's what makes that the therapy that it is, and a healing therapy. So yes, you can replace the bulbs in your home with incandescent bulbs, because that's a way out of that system. They do flicker, actually incandescent bulbs flicker, but it's kind of more like a fire flicker, and so it's not harmful. So incandescent bulbs are okay to have in the home, or high quality LEDs that don't flicker. So, and then just go with a company that you trust with that, and do some searching, and then just replace the lights in your home. Simple. And so I absolutely love that. So we've got here, here's why it's 40 times more powerful than sunlight. These are the equations. This is a really good visual illustration for normalizing cells, whether it's a disease cell and that's what's causing just poor liver function, poor kidney function, and poor thyroid function, or whether it's a cancer cell, you're putting light into the body to normalize and produce a healthy cell through energy production. And so here's how it works. Here's how it's producing cytochrome C oxidase and producing nitric oxide, the gas. This is how it's damaging the cancer cells' mitochondria and the mitochondrial DNA. So I'll read that again. So this absorption triggers the burst of reactive oxygen species that damage the cancer cells' mitochondria and mitochondrial DNA, disrupting the energy production and signaling. As a result, the cancer cell becomes unstable and eventually undergoes apoptosis or programmed cell death. And the same process is for anything. Like if you have senescent cells in your body, which you do, and if they're not dying off, then that's why you're sick and unhealthy, is because your cells are. So whatever the condition, that's what's driving it. And that's why I'm going from cancer to myopia to Hashimoto's to weight loss to arthritis to fibromyalgia, and I'm showing studies on both PEMF and red light for each of them, because look, God was right. God made us these healing frequencies, and he gave humans the ability to amplify what he'd done. Here's a great study on 6,400 children. I'm not sure if that is big enough for you, Mark. I think it might be. 41 study. Yeah, there you go. And it's a blockbuster. It's brand new 2025 study. And red light was the #1 therapy that stopped vision worsening and slowing eye growth for children. This was the therapy. Red light is thought to work by improving blood flow in the eye, reducing strain and inflammation, and helping prevent the eyeball from elongating too quickly. And so so think about it. You get one device in the home, and this is what I want to kind of anchor home for you guys. If you've got a red light, then get a PEMF. If you've got a PEMF, then get a red light. Our PEMFs also do have the they do have red, blue, and green in them. And so they do have light in them. Mm-hmm. The reason why you'd still get both is because you're talking about 24 lights versus 400 or 600, depending on this panel behind me has 288 LEDs, dual LEDs. So it's 576 lights that are coming through here, which is tremendously powerful. And so combine those, and when you do that, you've got something in your home that is working for so many conditions that you have right now, symptoms that you have right now, subclinical things that you don't know that are going on, like your thyroid is worsening, but you don't really even realize it's not showing up in tests. Your children, if you've got children or grandchildren, whoever's visiting you, they've got challenges. Put them in front of the red light. By having that one device, you're literally opening up healing for you and your family, and it becomes the cheapest therapy that you can possibly do. Everything else, you've got to keep buying it. You've got to keep getting those doctor's visits. I just went to the chiropractor yesterday. I have to keep paying for that. These things, lessen the need for other therapies, and so you have to do other therapies less or not at all. You get off medications, even though I'm not going to make any claims about that, but it gives you the ability, because I could show you the studies showing that it's supplementing these problems, so therefore you end up not needing that. Think about the pain medications that you're on. The studies on insomnia. For PEMF, I can tell you PEMF is the best for insomnia. PEMF is the best for muscle wasting, sarcopenia.
Well, I'm really looking forward to getting to use PEMF for just those things, sleep and muscle wasting.
What a duo! What a great hit! And then this chronic pain, you're ordering medications for that, and then you're worsening and creating other conditions that will need other medications. And so this is a trial with over 400 patients, showed that about half showed meaningful pain relief. These are short periods of time, which means that I would argue 100% would have got meaningful pain relief if it was for longer periods of time, because guess how long stem cells take to mature in the body? 3 to 4 months. PEMF and red light are working with the stem cells in the body to produce more stem cells in the bones, and both making them, which is proliferation, and differentiation, maturing them into normal healthy cells. When combined with physical therapy, even better. Which makes you more wanting to go and do those issues. This was a powerful modality for managing ongoing back pain, and these were the mechanisms. So, you've just got so many great tools here. This is great because they were only on this therapy. I believe this study was only for a few weeks. It was 3 weeks. It was twice a day. So they only did it twice a day for 3 weeks. So twice a day is quite a lot, and it was 30 minutes per session. But this was a 12-week follow-up. And guess what? The benefits lasted for at least 12 weeks after the therapy ended. So you're doing structural changes in the body. And that's why I'm saying this is a regenerative therapy. And the group that did the fake treatment didn't get better. And so better physical function, reduced pain, improved mood. And so with the mat, guys, this is what you're looking at here. You've got 13 different layers, from the red light to the blue and green light, the photon light layer, the pulsed electromagnetic field layer, and the far infrared heat layer. So 3 therapies all in one. It's using the 1 to 30 hertz Schumann range, which I've shared with you. It's improving the sleep quality. It's restoring cellular balance. You fix your sleep, fix your health, fix your oxygenation in the body, how your cells absorb nutrients and how it transports and utilizes oxygen. You fix your health issues. This study showed the 1 to 30 hertz range was used for the knee osteoarthritis over 9 sessions, 1 hour each. The pain relief continued for 6 months, up to 6 months without any side effects. So even longer periods of time. So that frequency range is integral. That's why we use the 1 to 30 hertz range. The magnetic field strength, we've got the 150 millitesla, which is that powerful magnetic field strength that is used in clinical devices, but we've made it available in a at-home device. And here's a study using 150 and 80 millitesla on human stem cells, and both groups are continuing to grow and thrive over time. But the 150 millitesla group showed a higher and clearer trend towards high expression of key healing factors like collagen and VEGF, which is vascular endothelial growth factor, bone building proteins. And VEGF in particular helps create new blood vessels, essential for tissue repair and recovery. That's why we use 150 millitesla. There's the far infrared heat layer, the 86 to 158 degrees Fahrenheit. They're in the studies showing that it's enhancing blood flow, amplifying recovery, delivering full body comfort. And this combination of PEMF, far infrared, and light therapy all in one is amplifying these results, and it's creating better blood circulation, enhanced blood flow. And here you've got the 180 milliwatts of per centimeter squared at the surface for the light therapy, which is proven to work in the clinical studies and penetrate deep into the body. And there's the different wavelengths used, where in the green, for example, which you guys are less familiar with, in the mat, it's been very effective against pain, and it's a chronic. It's a solution to chronic pain. There's the infrared heat study. This was over 12 sessions. And what we've used in our device is even better than in this study. It's about 20% more powerful than what was used in this study. We've got the FDA Class 2 certification. And this 24-week study with the red light and PEMF combined, which is really great because there's not many together, the studies. There's so many studies of those in isolation. So if you've got just enough money to do one, then choose which one is. But in this study where they combined them, it was more effective in combination with androgenic alopecia for hair growth. And when combined, in this case, the scalp environment, it prepares the scalp environment for healing and nutrient delivery. Red light supercharges the cell's ability to grow stronger, healthier hair. In the study, by the way, if you have healthy hair, strong hair, guess what? Your bones are stronger. Everything goes together here, guys. And the reason why they had better hair is because their bones were more dense. And so if their bones are more dense, they're producing better stem cells. If their bones are more dense, they're protected from bone breaks, and their muscles are stronger as well. And everything goes together. Participants using both therapies saw a 24% increase in hair density, 4 times more than the control group. with only mild temporary redness or itching. Together, these two natural non-invasive therapies create a powerful synergy that helps awaken dormant follicles. So there's our proverbial MedBed. Fuller, thicker hair. You've got the combination therapy. There you go. There's an illustration of it there. And here's how it's working. It's doing these therapies together. We've got the therapies together. You've got the PEMF mat and the 300 Pro Max panel and the 205 milliwatts per centimeter squared at 3 inches power delivery. That's what we're seeing as being the highest end of the clinical studies. So which is why they're putting these in the top clinics around the world, including cancer clinics. And there's the specs, as I mentioned, from the clinical studies. And here's there's the 288 LEDs there. And so we've got the Red Life MedBed combo, and we've got a special there as well with getting these in combination there at the 3,200, and you're saving over $1,500 and activating a 30% off discount. And I'm going to share those codes there. Yes.
Woo! That is a bonus.
Yes. What were you saying? What did you say?
Hair growing thicker, it's a bonus. I was just enjoying some of those. Robert wants to know where's that. You've got a lot of this stuff over at just going to like My Red Light Therapy. You've got videos here with a lot of this information as well. Absolutely.
And then we've got, so that's the key right there, going to myredlight.com. And then you'll see that new bundle there on the page at myredlight.com, and using the code MarkZ, and the codes are MarkZ30 and MarkZ25. 25 for the single items and 30% for the duo items. And
on that front, the description in today's video on YouTube is extra long because I just went in and made it even longer and added all those codes and the discounts and everything that you would need so that you'll know based on that what to use.
Absolutely. And we've got the Red Life and sauna blanket. You've got the combo packages here that
hold on. Let me switch back over. So you're taking over the screen again.
Oh, great. Yeah. So you've got like the combo therapies here in the platinum package. And you've got not only the PEMF and the Red Light, you've got also a sauna blanket in there. So we made that really really powerful. It's the same, if you're paying the retail price, it's close to twice, it's 70. Well, you got a 30% off discount plus a lot of free gifts that are added there. So it's a great saving. And you go to other groups like 10X Health, and I'll show you what that looks like from these guys. You check out what they're doing, and you've got the Superhuman Protocol. You go to what they're doing there with the look at that bundle there. It's it's $18,000, right? So and the specs are not as advanced as what we have in our.
Yeah, I was going to say, and again, guys, that's not his company. This is, when you see the price shock on some of these, there are a lot of cheap, knockoffs out there where you can spend less, but you don't know if it's really working. Or you can look at like these devices where they are absolutely through the roof with, they're very proud of them.
Yeah, exactly. But you can tell visibly by looking at it that, okay, it doesn't look as sophisticated, and it's true, and it's not, because, and then if you click on more details with it, like let's have a look at that with the PEMF mat, and we've got descriptions on how PEMF works, but nothing on the specifications on what they've used in that device. So how could somebody make that purchase not knowing anything about it? It's like purchasing a supplement with not having an ingredients panel. So just just saying there, and just go get a Red Light there and look at what you've got. And these are smaller devices than what I just showed you. And so you've got a claim there. I actually don't think their milliwatts would be that high. I think that if you test it with a meter, it's not going to be as high as what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And they're clearly not dual LEDs. That's why you see half lit up, half not. So they're not dual either. And that's, 2-year warranty. We've got a 3-year warranty. And I'm just giving you guys some examples of the fact that We've really gone above and beyond to make this accessible, affordable, highest quality, and to get people what they need so that they can get that powerful healing modality from their home. And again, guys, it's just that simple code of the MarkZ 25 at checkout for single items and MarkZ 30 for the bundle items, and that will activate the discount you're seeing there on the page. And as I've shared with you guys in the past, you do the math on what it costs for other therapies, and you're going to be spending so much more. I do a comparison on a $50 supplement, but I'm going to tell people that there's no way you wouldn't have to do 4 supplements to try to even get like 30% of the results, or even 10% of the results we're sharing with what we've discovered with the red light therapy. So imagine you're doing 4 supplements a month. You're at $200 a month for the year. You're at $2,400 a month, $2,400. That's what you would pay, for a lifetime device that is used for the whole family. If I've got a whole family using that same, like a family of 4 using that same 4 supplement protocol, then I'm up at 4 times that, which would be close to $10,000. So that's a big difference. And then over the next 10 years, I'm at $100,000 just for 4 supplements. And so, yes, it's way cheaper to get a red light and PEMF mat that will last you and your whole family. If you double your dose with the supplement protocol, just double that number. Now you're at $200,000. If you double your dose on the red light, you're paying the same amount. There's no difference in the cost.
Can we squeeze in? I've got to start wrapping up soon, but can we squeeze in a question here, Pamela? Jonathan, how long does one need to wear a cap for hair growth? Not for me, but my son. She was asking.
Yeah, look. So I don't have any gray hairs, which is nice. I've got baldness on both sides of my family. And what's interesting with me is I have caps, but I'm not using them as much. I'm just using the panels more, but I would just grab this hat and there we go, whack it on back to front. You could do 30 minutes once a day, twice a day. Like they vary. You could do 20 minutes, 15 minutes every day. The key is just proximity, like doing it enough and having it somewhere. And you've got a 30-minute timer, so why not do it for 30 minutes, right? Every day, once a day. You could do twice.
And for us old guys, we could just put it beside our easy chair when we're watching our westerns. Okay, I don't have an easy chair, but
that's awesome. That's awesome.
WK, I'm waiting for you to design a table, mat, red light, all in one unit. When I look at some of those companies out there that have them blended together, the price tag is just so through the roof. Cool though.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to show that. You want to show my screen here? So you can tell me when it's up because I'm just
it's up. It's up.
Yeah, great. So this is an example, and I like their product. I think it's cool. It's nice for marketing.
I'm just worried, like going through the plexiglass where they've got the bed and you got the red light so far below it, just how effective it is.
Oh,
that would be probably the question I have.
Yes,
when
exactly.
I look at it.
Exactly. They could be closer, and you would get higher irradiance by being closer. They don't have listed here the wavelength. This is a $160,000 device. I can tell you, I know for sure that you will get much better results with what we have, and the reason is simple. You can't use this at the time that you need to use it, like when you rise and when you go to sleep. The clinics aren't open at that time, right? Imagine you had this in your home. Yeah, the result would be comparable. I think it would be neck and neck because we still have more wavelengths in our devices. If I measure the irradiance of both side by side, I believe our radiance to be higher. Some of their information is a little hard to find, which is and see how they've got the PEMF and the red and near infrared. So that's what they're combining, and so yes, that's very simple. But in terms of and the molecular hydrogen, that's something that people can add. We will be releasing molecular hydrogen soon for inhalation and make that way more accessible and affordable to people and at the highest quality. but you could do the hydrogen water. Just you could get the $50, $100 hydrogen water generators. Mark, you're familiar. You could get that, and then you're doing the hydrogen water. Hydrogen water and inhalation are a little different still, but same thing. You're delivering to the body, and then and then there's other things that you could do, which we've educated on, but I can't educate on that on this platform. We've shared the resources in the books, but we know what happens when we share that.
Oh God, yeah. We're not even going to mention.
We're not going to refer to it. We're just going to say watch our previous videos, and people can drop them in the chat and say watch our previous video. I didn't say anything, did I, Mark? I didn't say anything.
No. Yeah,
but
we mentioned it one time, and it was an instant removal. I don't think the video made it an hour.
Yeah, exactly. And so I didn't say it, but it will outperform molecular hydrogen. So that would be great. Now Pamela says, thanks, Jonathan. I could give my son a bundle for the hat and get.
Yeah, in other words, buy the bundle, give them the hat, keep the rest.
Yes, exactly. That's a good idea, because you're really actually getting, when you get a bundle like that, you're getting a bunch of items for free. Yeah, so that's great.
And somebody was looking for the PowerPoint. If you go, wait a minute, let me add this one, guys. It is him going through it. It's not just the PowerPoint by itself. It's him going through it. Is the video myredlight.com. It is like right there. As soon as you put the video, you got a video there. You can play it. 2.5 hours. Him going through a lot of this same information. Just want to make certain I had somebody looking for it.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's great. And let's see what else people have here. I have these tables at place. I built it at a month. We have these tables at the place I built, and it's a monthly price. Not too bad, I might add. You'll get.
Yeah, that's a neat idea. We need to start doing those all over with some of these new healing technologies, clinics, to make it affordable for folks.
Yes, exactly. I did just have. Do you know Next News Network?
Yes.
Okay, so he texted me last week, Gary Francie, and said it's so sad. He's the chiropractor that has red light in his clinic just got arrested. What are you? And first thing I thought was, oh, he's doing great therapies and he's a good guy and he's been persecuted because he's a good guy helping people. But unfortunately,
that's what we want to think.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. What do you think he might have been doing, Mark, with his red light room that people go into and take their clothes off and get in front of red light? What do you think he might have been?
Was he was probably filming some of his patients. Dear gee, it just, see, if you got one at home, you don't have to worry about it.
I know. And you know what he said to me? He said, my wife declined going in because when he asked, hey, you want to come in for the red light? And she said, no, I have one at home. And he said, because of you, we had this in our home, which he said, like, it turned around my wife's anxiety, her chronic pain through her body, the chronic conditions she was battling. Our life was hospital visits and doctor's visits, and now it's completely changed. And if you watch the videos we did together, you'll see him breaking down, crying multiple times, sharing that heartfelt story. And then now I got that message saying that, she was protected for that. I'm not saying that clinics will often do that.
Oh, no, God, no.
No.
99% of them out there are, upfront, okay, all those things, but just enough squeezy people out there to make us question. Dave Ray, hi, Jonathan. I have both the PEMF mat and sauna blanket. It is said that you could use them together. The instructions say no clothes for PEMF and clothes for the sauna. Can you clarify proper use? Absolutely.
So, yeah, no clothes for the sauna blanket. Clothes are fine for the PEMF. It's just going to go through the clothes. So, but it's up to you. Because the PEMF has red light in it and green and blue, so it is technically a bit better if you were naked on it. But because, I would outweigh the benefit and wear it with clothes in a public air, not public, but like in your living room with your children watching TV or anything like that. If it was inappropriate to be naked in that setting, then I would just do it with clothes on, because
clothes, should it be like, does the fiber matter? Should it be like a thin cotton? Should it be something like that?
It could be. Yeah, exactly. But the PEMF, whatever you're wearing, it's not going to make really much difference, because that magnetic pulse is so strong. And you'll see I'll lift up the magnet off the device and it's going to be rattling. even when it's lifted off the device, not even touching it. So it's pushing that way through, let alone if you're pressed up against it and your body is pressing against your clothes. So that's easy. Red light, definitely be either naked or minimally clothed. If you're getting, like, I'll do it with my shirt off with this panel behind me and be on meetings and stuff and have my shorts on or whatever. So it just depends, or I'll be completely naked and have that over me and then a red light under me. So that stand that I've got here can go horizontal, and then you're getting both at once and laying flat. And that's a really cool and fun way to do it, for sure. And
right.
Yeah, so I love that. And let's see what else.
Yeah, linen, cotton. Think of it like this, guys. When you're looking at the light, take your piece of material, your clothing, then look outside at the light. How much do you see through it?
Yeah, exactly.
So the one that lets the most light through is probably the better on that one. Okay, I need to start wrapping though. I've got work screaming at me now for the day job.
You got to do it, man. That's awesome.
Got to do it, unfortunately.
Yes, awesome, guys. Last message of inspiration, guys, is that, you know, whatever you're battling with, don't commit to that diagnosis, that condition, that label that you've been given. These conditions actually do not exist. They are symptoms that are being given names after people that discovered them, like Hashimoto's and Alzheimer's. These are people that Bell's palsy, like they're names of doctors or scientists, and or the names of conditions like rheumatoid arthritis means, like, translates in Latin sore finger, and so it doesn't mean anything other than symptoms. So, you know, don't be committed to that outcome. Be committed to the outcome of giving your body what it needs to regenerate. And we've got, like, countless examples in this community. People like Mark are great examples of seeing immediate changes, even though he's not as consistent as he should be, which is great. And I'm going to get him more consistent. I just need to keep calling in on him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on my way to and from San Juan. And
he's going to start pulling in the house and throwing me under the light.
Yes, exactly. Dee Dee, I love her story. 9 out of 10 pain score. Just used a red light belt, which he spent for a couple $100. Anyone that's saying, well, you know, I don't have the money for it, well, then get something like that. What she went to a 0 out of 10 pain score. She went back to her part-time job as a massage therapist, reclaimed a $48,000 a year salary. Look at Shannon, who had Graves' disease, had chronic thyroid disease, was unable to. It was practically bedridden, unable to walk properly. So in so much pain. She went and competed in the New York Marathon just 2.5 weeks after starting treatment, having it over a thyroid. I'm not saying that's a claim that everyone will have that. That's what happened for her. We can verify that. That happened. We've got, you know, Joanne, who at 92 years old regained complete peripheral vision. She could only see through tunnels. She could now read for the first time in 6 months. 6 years. First time in 6 years she's been able to read. And she's completely continued that. It hasn't relapsed. Her nerve pain in her feet that stopped her from sleeping went away. She's in her mid-90s. We're just seeing all these kinds of things, story after story, and whether it's weight loss, thyroid function, eyesight, even the big C. I'm not going to make claims, but you saw the studies. We're seeing the same thing, real life, firsthand. These are things that may not be happening right now for you, but they are statistically extremely likely to happen, given that we're at a 50% risk of cancer during your lifetime for a male and 1 in 3 for females, with those rates set to double in the next 10 years based on even simple statistical analysis and projections, considering that it used to be something like 3 in 100, like 100
Wow.
years ago. And now we're at the rates we are. So get ahead of that, guys. Don't wait for it to happen. This is the cheap thing to do. Waiting for bad things to happen is the expensive thing to do, which could leave you on the streets. There you go. PEMF mat only for 220 outlets. Yeah.
One time it worked. The PEMF mat works in regular outlet too here in the States.
Yep. So there you go.
I just wanted to add that one. Jonathan, thank you. Look forward to
sir.
seeing you again sometime soon. And for the rest of you folks, see you tonight with Dr. J.
Thanks, man.
Take care.